I'm here to read to you again from One Crazy Summer, Rita Williams Garcia, Chapter 5, and it's called Mean Lady Ming. We stood as one looking up at her, me in the front, Vanetta and Fern at my sides. She was tall and broad shouldered, where Pa was just tall. As hungry as I was, all I could think was that they made you dance with a boy in the sixth grade, that I would never look right dancing with a boy, and for that I had Cecile to thank. I spoke first. We're hungry. As usual, my sister's voices followed on top of mine. Vanetta, what's for supper? Then Fern, hungry, hungry. She rubbed her belly. We made a picture. Us looking up at her, and her looking down at us. In the animal kingdom, the mother bird brings back all she's gathered for the day and drops it into the mouths of each bird squawking to be fed. Cecile looked at us like it didn't occur to her that she would be hungry, that we would be hungry, and she'd have to do what mothers do, feed their young. I'm no big ma in the kitchen, but I would have opened a can of beans and fried up some franks. I can bake a chicken and boil potatoes. I would have never let my long gone daughters travel nearly 3,000 miles without turning on the stove. She said, what you want from me? Supper, I answered. It's past 8 o'clock. We haven't had real food since breakfast with Big Ma and Papa. I kept going. That was, I glanced at my wrist, 9 hours and 12 minutes ago. Vanetta was next. Airline food don't count. Fern laughed. Surely don't. She was still looking down at us as if we'd thrown a monkey wrench into her quiet Tuesday evening. Then she spoke. Where's the money your father gave you? I crossed my arms. There was no way she was getting our money. That money is for Disneyland, I told her, to go on all the rides and meet Tinkerbell. This was the first time we heard Cecile laugh, and she laughed like the crazy mother she was turning out to be. Is Tinkerbell gonna feed you? She was still laughing. We didn't think she was funny. We said nothing rather than talk back and get slapped. Look, she said, if you want to eat, hand over the money. I stared her down, something I would never try with Big Ma. Cecile didn't seem to care. She said, fine. I got plenty of air sandwiches here. Go on back to your room and open your mouths and catch one. The stare down ended right there. I unlaced my right tennis shoe, wriggled my foot out, and removed the mound of tens and twenties Pa had given me. Cecile didn't care that the money had been baking under my foot since we left Brooklyn. She took the money, unfolded and counted the bills, then stuffed them in her pants pocket, except for a $10 bill, which she held out to me. Go round the corner to Ming's, order a large shrimp lo mein. She counted our heads as if she didn't know how many of us she'd had. 4 egg rolls and a big bottle of Pepsi. Vanetta and Fern squealed for the shrimp and Pepsi, forgetting that this was wrong. Our mother should have cooked real food for us. At the very least, baked a chicken, made franks and beans. Fruit punch, I said. Big Ma don't allow us to have strong drinks. Cecile let out a single whoop of a laugh. Ah! Vanetta and Fern were too excited about having takeout to see that our mother was crazy. I said, we have to call Pa and let him know we arrived. They chimed in, safe and sound on the ground. Cecile said, phone's next to me. You mean you don't have a phone? Vanetta asked. Cecile said, I don't have no one to call, and I don't want no one calling me. Whether Cecile had a phone was not my main worry. We have to get out after 8 o'clock to call Pa and get food. Aren't you coming with us? Ming's a couple of blocks down Magnolia around the corner. She pointed in the direction. Phone booth's right there. When we were barely out the door, she added, and tell Ming to give you 4 plates, 4 forks, 4 napkins, and 4 paper cups. No sense dirtying your dishes. And you not coming inside my kitchen. We all looked at one another and thought the same thing. Crazy. I led the way in the direction Cecile pointed, down the walk past the slumping palm tree, and made a right turn. Burnett and Fern, as usual, nipped the heels of my tennis shoes. It wasn't dark at all, but it wasn't high daylight either. Kids of all ages still ran around playing in yards and riding bikes on the street. I bet kids around here played out here all year long and not only in the summer. We usually went to the summer camp at the Y or drove down to Alabama in Papa's Wildcat. We came upon some kids playing freeze tag. They jumped from lively wiggle worms to frozen statues just as we neared their yard. We felt the smirks of the gaping statues on us. Vanetta smiled, welcoming their interest in us. She was scouting out new friends to be with for the next 28 days. I let her lag a step or two behind to wink and smile at them. You can't stop Vanetta from chasing after friends. I kept walking, Fern sticking very close to me. Vanetta skipped until she caught up. One thing's for sure, these blocks might have been long like the blocks on Herkimer Street, but we were far from Brooklyn. I didn't know where any of these streets led, but I walked down Magnolia like I knew where I was going. I couldn't help but notice that one yard had a palm. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but notice that not one yard had a palm tree. Not one. Or stucco. Not one house was painted that crazy green color. I was thinking this behind us. I was thinking this when behind us crept a rumbling against concrete, like a barrel rolling broken by the cracks in the sidewalk. I turned. A voice yelled, "Gangway!" We tried to jump aside, but the three of us jumping all together only got us so far. A boy on the top of a wooden board, this flying T with tricycle wheels on the back, rumbled by and managed to clip me good. "Hey, watch out!" I called after him, shaking my fist. He only stopped at the corner to pick up his flying T, carry it across the street, and lay it down on the sidewalk. "Sorry," he yelled without turning around. Then he gave it a running push and jumped on it, eventually lying stomach down, his arms outstretched as he held on to both ends of the T. "What was that?" Vanetta asked. "Some stupid boy," I said. "Come on, y'all." I had to pull Vanetta's chin away from the direction of the boy on the flying T. She kept looking even after he was long gone. Ming was where Cecile said it was, around the corner and a couple of blocks down. There was a big sign, Ming's, and underneath it, red neon characters that looked like fighting men waving swords. The telephone booth was also where Cecile said it would be, right next to Ming's. I planned on calling Pa before getting the food, but the booth was already occupied by a light-skinned guy with a big floppy afro. He was turned sideways, but I could see his profile and his beakish nose. The way he pushed his head this way and that suspiciously while he talked. We stood with our arms folded, waiting for him to finish. He looked like a fugitive from justice. I could spot one when I saw one. I love a good crime story, especially the FBI crime shows that come on late, and I sneak to catch whatever big mouth falls asleep watching. That's how this guy looked, like he was calling his mom to see if the coast was clear to come home without the mob or the coppers on his tail. He saw us standing with our arms folded and turned his back to us. I got it. He had a lot of dimes and planned on using each one. We went inside Ming's. We were barely in the restaurant, which wasn't a restaurant, just a counter with a kitchen on the far side and two small tables with benches on our side. The Chinese lady behind the counter said, "No free egg rolls! No free egg rolls!" She waved her hand like, "Shoo, stray cat." I didn't know how to answer. I didn't ask for any free egg rolls, but we were the only ones inside Ming's, and she was staring straight at me. Vanetta said, "We don't want no free egg rolls." Fern piped in, "We want shrimp lo mein and Pepsi." Vanetta said, "And 4 plates, 4 forks, 4 napkins, and 4 cups." Fern said, "And 4 egg rolls." Vanetta says, all for money, not for free. Finally, I said, it's takeout to go. I uncurled the $10 bill to show her. Usually I'm Johnny on the spot, speaking up for my sisters and me. But this time I went blank for no reason I could think of. It was nice to have Burnett and Fern jump right in. The lady shouted in Chinese to the back of the kitchen. She sounded even meaner than when she said, no free egg rolls. I decided, just like Cecile was crazy, the Chinese lady was mean. Mean Lady Ming. She nodded to us and said, okay, sit. We sat down and waited. Mean Lady Ming kept talking. Everybody poor. Everybody hungry. I give a free egg roll. Feel sorry. Everyone come for free egg roll. She muttered on like Cecile did and looked mean and tired like Big Ma looks on washboard days. While I was sitting with my sisters, I made up my mind about Oakland. There was nothing and no one in all of Oakland to like. I would get on a plane and fly back to New York if Big Ma showed up wanting her grandbabies. I wouldn't even tell Cecile, thanks for the visit. Well, that ends chapter 5 with Mean Lady Ming from One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you listen thoroughly. Listen as many times as you need to get a better understanding. I will be back really, really soon with chapter 6, which is called Collect Call. I can't wait to see what Delphine tells her dad after meeting Cecile, the crazy lady, and Lady Ming, who is mean, and they call her Mean Lady Ming. But until then, enjoy what I've already read, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.